Hi, welcome to Unit 4 and welcome to the last unit and a wrap up to our class. Unit 4 is going to take you on a tour of some videos that look at education globally, and it will take you on a tour of some tools and websites that hopefully will be beneficial to your students and to you. But because this is really a wrap-up unit and a way that we can begin to weave some of these ideas, some of the concepts and some of the big themes together so that you can take them forward, I would like to go over some things as a kind of review. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, we have taken a look at information literacy, what it is, what our role will be as students prepare to meet the Common Core standards. Remember that media skills are infused throughout the Common Core standards. I believe that it's really artificial to separate out the idea of information literacy from media skills. And so keep those two things together and remember that it's going to become incumbent upon you to step forward and be able to help teachers as they prepare their students for the use of information literacy in the Common Core. Speaking of standards, do you have a big picture of what the standards for the 21st century learner are all about? Remember, they are the underpinnings of our library program in today's world. Do you have an understanding of your own state standards, whether it be from Montana or from another state? And are you beginning to see how these standards can in fact relate to Common Core and how you can use your understanding of the standards for library to help the teachers as they get their students ready for the Common Core standards? A major theme of this entire course has been looking at the impact that our digital world of hyperconnectivity has on our lives and those of our students. What is it that we need to be cognizant of? What do we need to be concerned about? Are we still able to read deeply and think deeply? And how can we encourage our students to do the same? Another theme, of course, of this class is that everything is interactive today. The term Web 2.0 is really kind of a passé term, and I think for some of you, this little trip of the 23 things that we had you do, hopefully you've learned some things, but I also think for some of you in this class it's going to have been a little bit more like a history lesson. There's a lot of opportunity for interaction and instant information, not only personally, but of course in the educational setting. And so what is it that you are going to try to keep up with, and what is it that you are going to try to bring into your library program? Remember those three roles of a teacher librarian? Remember, they are information and technology instruction, reading advocacy, and information management and services. If you can picture a three-legged stool, each leg being an equal contributor to the overall balance of the stool, I think that that's how those three roles are in terms of our own jobs. Balancing these is an important part of being a teacher librarian in today's world. But of course, at different times, some of those roles are going to take the driver's seat. So just keep that in mind. Back to information literacy. How can we steer our students into really being savvy internet users, searchers for ideas, and students who are able to assess the information that they get off of the internet? How are we going to be able to enable them to use more and more primary sources? Remember that primary source material is going to be very fundamental in creating Common Core essays, and that teachers are going to have to encourage their students to use primary sources, and a lot of teachers really don't know how to go about finding primary sources. So this is one area where we really can be very helpful to teachers. As far as collaboration, we no longer have to think of fully integrated collaborative lessons as the gold standard that we always have to be striving for. Believe me, I think this is really a freeing idea because we can now begin to spread our energies into making strategic lessons, top quality coordinated lessons, and do a really great job of coaching our staff. I think that in many ways this will allow our jobs to blossom like we haven't seen for a while. We've talked about assessment, and I know that assessment is brought up in other classes. Please keep an open mind about assessment. Know that you are expected to be able to assess and be accountable for your program. But also we need to be thinking along the lines of encouraging our own students to be self-assessors. And I think that this is one of those very important ideas that we can have in our library program, and we can be encouraging our students to take forward with them that idea of an attitude towards self-assessment. Think about all the tools that are available to our students. Are you familiar with those tools? If you're in Montana and you're at a high school level, can you get your students help with Homework Montana? Can you help them set it up? If you're from another state, do you know about a similar kind of program where a student can get online tutoring that is safe tutoring, which of course is an important issue? How do we see our libraries taking shape physically? Again, this is touched on in another class, but remember, a library without a wall is probably the way we're headed, given the fact that our students today are so connected to not just the internet, but the mobile devices that give them access to everything that the internet has available. So these are some of the big themes that I'm hoping that you will take forward with you as you go into your career. I want to thank you very much for being a part of this class, for all the work and the effort that you have put into it. I'm glad to have gotten to know you. I know that getting to know people in an online class is a little bit different situation, but I have enjoyed it. And again, I want to thank you very much. Please know that I wish you all the best, and if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to get in touch with me. Thank you.